Imagine running a global shipping company, but instead of tracking physical crates on cargo ships, you are responsible for keeping millions of digital shipping boxes organized and moving all at the same time. Docker is excellent at packing your software into these neat little boxes, known as containers. But once you have thousands of them running simultaneously, your computer system needs a way to keep track of them all. That's where Kubernetes comes in. You can think of it as the ultimate orchestrator for your software, like a conductor directing a massive digital symphony. Having that conductor is the difference between running a few simple applications on a personal laptop and managing a massive, globally available web service that millions of people rely on every day. Let's see what this looks like in action. Take a look at this setup. A central orchestrator automatically distributes incoming user traffic across a row of 5 active container blocks, checking their health. When a container crashes, the system instantly spots the gap and spawns a new block to replace it, returning the line to 5. This is a digital process called auto-scaling. Nobody had to receive an alert, wake up in the middle of the night, or manually type in a single command to fix the outage. The system recognized the failure and handled the repair entirely on its own. By automatically tracking health and replacing broken parts when they fail, the system guarantees continuous uptime. The person clicking on the other side of the screen gets a seamless experience, completely unaware that a piece of the software just broke and fixed itself. To understand how this level of automation is possible, let's trade our symphony analogy for a highly organized digital factory. In this world, the entire working network is known as a cluster. Here is a cluster structure. At the top is the master node, the central brain making operational decisions. It sends instructions through the API server, shown by dashed lines, to the worker nodes, which do the actual heavy lifting. A cluster's strength comes from this clear divide. One part of the system focuses entirely on thinking and planning, while the other focuses entirely on getting the work done. But this specific architecture introduces a risk. If the central brain makes all the decisions, what happens to the factory if the boss gets sick and goes offline? The solution is a concept called high availability. Take a look at this schematic. Instead of relying on one single point of failure, the system runs multiple master nodes simultaneously in a redundant formation. If the primary node fails, the system doesn't panic. One of the backup nodes instantly steps up and takes over command. Because there are always backups ready to take the reins, the factory never stops receiving instructions. This indestructible management layer keeps the entire operation moving. Now let's look closer at the factory floor itself. Inside those worker nodes, you'll see smaller blocks labeled pod. The pod is the most basic building block on the floor, the smallest piece of the system we can actually work with. You can picture a pod as a secure working desk. Each desk holds and runs one or more of those individual software containers we talked about earlier. When a factory gets big enough, you need to keep different departments from stepping on each other's toes. To solve this, we use namespaces. As we see here, the computer resources are sliced into distinct sections, like painted boundary lines on a factory floor. This means multiple different engineering teams can share the same cluster. Their work stays in their own lane, ensuring their code never collides or accidentally steals memory from another team. By drawing these virtual boundaries, namespaces turn what could be a massive, chaotic factory into a series of highly organized, independent workspaces. When you stack all these layers together, the brainy master node, the powerful worker nodes, the individual pods, and the organized namespaces, you turn thousands of standalone containers into one unified machine. Of course, managing the containers is only half the battle. In our next episode, we'll look at how we keep information safe and synchronized across a massive network, a complex challenge that tech experts call the saga pattern. For now, the next time you load a massive website without a single glitch, you'll know it's because this tireless, invisible infrastructure is quietly orchestrating the show behind the scenes.